recap the releases that rolled out from this week. As always, I'm joined by Ryan. How, Ryan? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. It's been a week, and here we are.
Has been a week. We were just chatting. I think I had some bad charcuterie. It's been a rough morning, but the show must go on. So let's talk about what rolled out this week. Let me share my screen here. Oh, I should have done this before. Okay, great. And now we toggle it on. All right, perfect. So as always, please say hello in the comments so that we know we are successfully streaming live across all of our channels. Let us know what you're up to, where you're joining from. And with that, let's talk about the first release of the week, which was for Ecom. So Ecom got product collections, which is pretty awesome. This is basically categories. Am I correct in that, Ryan?
Yeah. Yeah. So the example they kind of use here is like if you're selling iPhones, there's going to be several different models of an iPhone. It's selling chairs, same kind of thing, t-shirts, etc. So it's a way to organize the e-commerce store a little bit more professionally.
And then that ties into the menu. So we can see that here. Basically, we've got like tiered menu items for the categories or the groups.
Yep.
And then basically we can select and get a specific subset of products.
Yeah. It's awesome. That's what it
Yeah,
looks
this
like
is
in the
awesome. This is a
UI.
big step forward, and you can see basically the URL structure is there as well. So the categories have their own URLs, so we can do all sorts of stuff with that. I think another huge step forward for ecom. This team has
Yeah.
really been killing it lately.
And that segues right into our next release, which is variant specific images. I'm oddly excited for this.
Me too. This one's awesome, right?
Yeah.
Because I
Nothing
feel
I
like
love
it's really
better.
frustrating when you go to a store and you're looking at a variant and the images don't change, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing I love better than having lots of different images and different angles of products so you can get a real sense of what they're actually like. So this is doing that for you. And then in the next slide, we've got what the actual store looks like, where you can select between the different images. And yeah, looks really good.
So just so everybody's on the same page, right? We're talking about, okay, we've got a product. Let's say it's t-shirts that come in small, medium, large, but maybe the large looks a little different, right? So we want to be able to, when we select large, see a different image than when we're selecting small or medium. And so
Yeah.
this is, I feel like this is kind of like a higher level ecom feature that most ecom sites still don't utilize. So I feel like, again, this is a huge advancement for ecom and HighLevel.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen it, but only really the higher end stores that I've seen really do this. Like, if you go to Patagonia or something, they'll show like what a large looks like on a 6'2" model
Mm.
that's 180 pounds versus the small and the medium, and so this is a way to do that and kind of built right in there.
Yeah, very cool. All right, let's talk about what we have next. Workflow's got an update. So workflow action and trigger for contact engagement score. This is really cool. So we have, lead scoring in HighLevel, right? And I think it was, you could control some basics around it, but now this kind of blows it wide open.
Yeah, so now we can look at the actual engagement score, and then we can also we can trigger off of that, and then we can also do updates, obviously to modify the engagement score too. So if they're more or less engaged, then we have actions then that follow the triggers that can do that.
So this again is really cool because it's like now I can create whatever parameters I want to change somebody's contact score, right?
Yeah.
So I could say if a contact gets moved to this stage of a pipeline, I want 5 points added to the score because it means my sales rep saw something and manually moved them over or whatever. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think
Exactly.
that's I think this is kind of the final piece to that contact scoring or lead scoring because now you can do whatever you want. You could update the score off of a webhook coming in, right? So
Yeah.
pretty cool, wide open now contact scoring.
Yeah.
Looks
And
like
that's
we've
just
got
the action for modifying it, what it looks like there.
okay, cool. So we could add points or reduce points, go either way. Nice, awesome. Next up, WhatsApp. So we've got rebilling for WhatsApp. So now everybody out there helping people get up and running on WhatsApp can profit off of the messaging. And again, I think it's important that we point this out. You only get charged if you're sending basically the message templates, meaning if people chat in and you reply, that's all free.
Hmm.
But if you want to send like a bulk WhatsApp out to a bulk group of contacts, that you pay for. And now
Yeah.
you can monetize.
You can kind of think of it as like an advertisement, right?
Mhm.
It's a canned approved template that you can bulk send to a lot of people. You will be charged for that, but if they engage with you, like you said, it's free after that. So there's no way or need to rebill on that. Just kind of the outbound template messages.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
Hmm.
I was in I don't know, a thread on Twitter or something, and somebody posted about how their restaurant, um, so their friend opened a restaurant. It quickly became the most popular one in whatever city it was in, largely because they change at least one thing on the menu every week. And I'm
Mm.
like, that's a perfect example of a great, if you have everybody's WhatsApp every week, you have a reason to send out a marketing message saying, hey, here's the new thing on the menu,
Yeah.
delicious looking picture of it. Guess what's going to happen? People are going to make reservations and show up. So,
Yeah.
this is just sort of, we call it DBR, right? Database reactivations or reactivation campaigns 101. But now we can monetize on that. So we can set our clients up, show them how to do it. And then every time they do it, we're making that micro revenue off of the send. So
Hmm.
big update for WhatsApp. Um, this
That's
is
just
just
that's just showing it within a snapshot. So different
cool.
snapshots you could have rebilling or not, and different levels of it as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Next up, we got a new permission update. So user permission now exists for exporting payment data via CSV. So this is pretty cool, right? So you could just prevent
Hmm.
your staff members from sort of exporting your financials.
Yeah. Small but needed update there.
Pretty straightforward, but I love it. I think more granular permissions are definitely going to be a trend for this year. We're going to see more and more ability to restrict or enable things for users that, to really craft a unique experience inside of the app.
Hmm.
Um, Next up, we had another payments update. So you can now update the payment method for an ongoing subscription, which is cool. So
Yeah.
like you've got a client or customer running on a subscription, and then they're like, "Hey, FYI, my credit card got stolen, so I had to get a new one. So
Yeah.
my charge is going to fail," right? And you're like, "Oh, cool, no worries, because now I can just send you a link where you can just click it and then change your card, and then the next time it runs, it'll run on the new card."
Yeah. So this used to have to be done like within the payment processor system, which is kind of a pain.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, we're not quite there with Stripe yet, although they're working on it. So this is just to be real clear, this is an authorized.net and NMI integration only for now, but we'll be expanding it. And yeah, it really cuts down on the headache of geez, now I got to log into this other system that I'm not usually in, and it's a pain, and you forgot your one time password, and so yeah, this will eliminate a lot of friction.
Yep. Another great one.
Yeah,
Very
and this is the
convenient.
UI for what they will see when they click on that link. So it's nice and clean, easy to
Yep.
understand.
Agreed. Looks
Yeah.
great. All right. Next up, Workflow's got another update. This one's pretty cool, right? We've got a new action for text formatting. And I was like, wow, this is fancy.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, you
walk
could
us
think.
through what this means. Like what
Yeah,
can we do
so
here?
this is kind of a little bit of a paintbrush. You can do a lot of different things with it. You can get really creative with it. One use case I was thinking of is like, okay, what if you're running an event and you want to print name tags for the people coming to the event? Well, maybe you want to put their last name, maybe not. Let's say that you just want to put their last initial, so you can, as they sign up, you can have a branch that then formats the text to be their first name and the first letter of their last name and that initial there, and then feed that right into a Excel doc, or not Excel, but a Google spreadsheet. And that way you can kind of like have that, and you can do a mail merge and print out your labels and have everything kind of done in one flow and not have to go back and forth and export stuff and import it and change the formatting. So
Very
does it right
creative
in
use
line.
case there, Ryan. I like that. Nice work. I
Yeah.
was the one that jumped out to me is, maybe you want to, I don't know, do something with a list of names or whatever, but you want it to be all capitalized, right? Instead of having to go do that. That's a pain in the butt, right? You could just run them through, like you said, use this action, say I want everything capitalized, and it's going to spit it out capitalized. So again, this is a really like small but mighty one, right? Like super
Yeah,
convenient if you've ever had to do stuff like this where it's just really annoying, monotonous, like busy work. Now we've got a
absolutely.
workflow.
Yeah. And
Sweet.
then the next screen is just showing like what it looks like when it's successful. So it just shows you the source and then the output and what it did. So you
Nice.
can check your work there.
So here we're looking at basically the log, right? And
Mhm. Yep.
man, oh man, I forget what I was doing the other day, but I hopped right into the log, searched the person, saw exactly what went wrong, went and fixed the error. Like, how helpful are workflow logs? If you haven't
Yeah.
spent the time to get to know the log, the execution log in workflows, take some time, do yourself a favor. It is really amazing, like how much easier it is to troubleshoot things now compared to back in the day when we didn't have those logs
Yeah.
and
You were
you
just guessing what was wrong. But
yeah,
yeah, you can
pretty
basically see
amazing.
exactly what happened and like, "Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I forgot to do this." So
Yep. All right, our next release, payments got another update. So we now have coupon codes for payment links, which
mhm.
is nice, right? Coupon codes are fantastic. We can do all sorts of marketing with those.
Yep, you can use them for subscriptions, you can use them for payment links now, obviously, and regular products. So, we'll see a lot more of that. In fact, I think there's one more, coupon update here coming up,
Yes. Um, looks
and
like you
then this
didn't
is the
put it.
UI for that.
It looks like you got something in between it here. So we're going to shift gears and come back to payments in a minute. But this next one is near and dear to my heart. We now have more SEO features in the builder. So we basically, this is so cool, right? You get a preview of what the page is going to look like in a search result. We've got suggesters in there. So when you're putting in your title, your description, it's going to, guide you, hey, you've got too many characters here. You want to chop that down a little bit. We can again upload the image that you're going to see in the preview, all of that, and even setting the language, which is great for
Yeah,
folks outside of the US or that want to set their website language to Spanish or whatever it may be. Now, that doesn't change the text on the page, right? We're talking about the code is telling search engines what language this site is in. So
yeah,
pretty nice. It looks really slick. I think the team did a great job.
yeah. Um, and I always like to say, like, this is not a silver bullet for SEO, but you should at least be doing the blocking and tackling, the basics, and this make sure that you're doing that. You just check off the things and you're good to go. So
Yeah.
kind of like if you've used WordPress, there's different plugins and stuff that'll tell you about your SEO. This same idea here.
Yeah, and that's a great point. And I think we should point out that this is really the first step into a lot more of these features that you're going to see. Like,
Mhm.
if you've ever built sites in WordPress, you probably know Yoast, right? And so we're going to have more and more Yoast type of features showing up in the builder to really help you do a good job of putting your pages in a great position to rank organically. And I think this is a fantastic first step. So great job to the
Yeah,
builder team. Um, the mobile app got an update.
yeah. This dropped
Love seeing that.
last night slash this morning. So I think I saw it come in at like 11 or something. But yeah, we've got new star ratings. As you can see here in the release notes, select date and time no longer gets affected by the 1 hour time change. So there's a little bit of a bug that we fixed there. Daylight savings messing with everybody.
Nice.
And a couple other updates regarding pool numbers aren't going to be shown up as outbounds, stuff like that. So really nice set of updates here to make the mobile app even more user friendly and just powerful, altogether.
Definitely. Go download the update, check it out. I feel like every time I update, I go in there and I see things that I guess I missed from previous updates. And I'm like, whoa, this is nice. Like when you
Yeah,
view appointments now, it doesn't show all the edit things unless you click edit. Like awesome. It's so much cleaner now. So, the mobile team, they never stop. Every update, it just gets better and better and more sleek. And
yeah.
so definitely download the update. Let us know what you think of that.
And there's a
Uh,
couple more screens here
oh, cool.
on what the update included. So from the release notes there.
Nice. Looking really nice. Okay, next up, we've got another workflow update. We've got new filters and filters and status for documents and contracts. So we basically got more granular here, right? So
Yep.
we can trigger out, hopefully you saw our webinar from last month. We can trigger out automated proposal templates. We can trigger out automated invoicing. And here for our documents and contracts, formerly known as proposals, we have more control over like when, right? So we can basically filter off of new statuses for like, has it been opened? Has it been signed? Has it been finished? All that kind of stuff. Um,
Yeah. Plus the actual template too. So if you have
hmm.
like an NDA that you're signing, you can trigger off of that, because that's a very specific type of use case versus, an invoice, or I should say a proposal or some sort of like agreement estimate coming in. That's going to do something different. You're going to have a different workflow for that. So now you can delineate between the two types, or multiple types, depending on what kind of templates you've got, and really design a nice, clean workflow for what happens after those things occur.
Yep. So this is another screenshot of that, right? So we're basically filtering on, like you just mentioned, is it a
Hmm.
specific template? Um, Here's another one showing some other options like the status, is it completed, sent, signed, or viewed?
Hmm.
So pretty handy there.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got another sort of security type of upgrade. So in user management now, there's an update to the flow when you go to update somebody's email address.
Yeah. So in the past, you could kind of just whimsically change emails, which is, from a security perspective, not the best practice. So we really tightened that up a lot. So anytime those types of changes happen, no matter if it's an admin or whatever, they have to get a one-time password sent to their email in order to make that change. And this is what the email looks like. I really appreciate this actually because anytime you've got one-time passwords where they put it like in line with the text, so you're like trying to hunt for like where the code is. So we got a nice big thing. You double click it, copy, paste it right in. You're good to go.
You're good to go. I love
Hmm.
it. And I loved that that adverb usage there, whimsically. Fantastic word. So nice little security update there.
Yep.
And then what do we have here? So community's got an update. So now we've got
Yeah.
notification on post replies that come via email.
Yeah. So shout out Usama. Now when you make a post inside of a community, like we run our content army within our own communities, and we post a contest and somebody replies with their entry, we get an email notification for that now. So it makes it a lot easier to re-engage your audience, and keep track of what's happening within communities without having to be constantly logged in and checking, just the notifications tab there.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, and then the remaining updates of the week. Let's run through these pretty quickly. Another workflow update where you can now you can add a custom number in the IVR call connect action, which is cool because I think before, if you wanted to create a branch where it called somebody, you had to like pick a user, right? And now
Yeah.
you can throw in
Like a
any phone
user
number.
that was assigned to a specific thing. Some people just don't want to go through that trouble. They just want to call a general line. You can do that now.
Cool. Opens that up pretty nicely.
Yeah.
Funnels and websites got an update where we have new API updates for the URL redirect. So that's pretty
Yes. So
cool.
this just gives the API the ability to interact with and modify URL redirects, and so all the developers rejoice.
Yeah, dev community. There we go.
Hmm.
Next up, ooh, this was a big one. This was a huge one, actually. This had so many votes, and people have been waiting for this one for a while. You can now connect multiple Google Business Profiles pages to a single sub account. So franchises, businesses with multiple locations that don't want to have a separate sub account to manage all the different Google Chat conversations, we can now have them flow all into a single sub account, which is very convenient.
Yes, absolutely.
Um, I will also add, because the next question that a lot of people had is what about multiple Facebook pages? And that is also in the works coming. Oh, I just asked Pooja about this, and she said in the next 2 weeks is what she heard.
Two weeks. TM.
So that's pretty exciting as well. Classic example, my one SaaS client, they're waiting for this one. They have a hotel and then they opened a cafe in the front of it, and they have 2 Facebook pages, and they want to manage both the conversations in one sub account. Here we go. 2
Piece of
weeks.
cake.
We'll be able to help them out.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we had another security update. We've got enhanced API key management. If you're a developer, you know what we're talking about. Go check it
Yeah.
out. You'll be excited.
It's better.
Uh, better.
Yeah.
After that, we've got a payments update. Oh, this is a pretty big one too. You can
Yeah.
now add 100% off discount coupons on subscriptions.
Yeah.
So,
So a key part of this, if you're wondering like why would somebody offer 100% discount on a
mhm.
subscription? If you're bundling things together, sometimes there are people who do some high ticket sales, or maybe they're doing coaching and they want to include a subscription to something that they provide otherwise at a higher price. And they say, hey, if you join our high ticket program, you get that for free. Now they can do that with subscriptions, which makes it really, really clean.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Um, Next up was another API update. There's now an API for text to pay. So again, the dev community will probably be pretty excited about that.
Hmm.
And our last update here was another cool one for workflows. The Google Sheet action got an enhancement here where you can now update multiple rows at one shot.
Yep. Add or update multiple rows, which I haven't done that, but I know that it's heavily requested. So
Yep,
get
exactly.
at it.
All right, so we've reached the point of our show where we talk about what we're most excited that's coming in the near future. Before we hop into our 2 picks, Joseph actually nailed one of mine. Let's kill my screen share here. Joseph asked, oh, sorry, he was shouting us out. It was Justin who asked, what about the ManyChat features? And those are so close. Played with it yesterday. It's working great. I don't know why it didn't roll out today. I think it might tomorrow or Monday, literally any day now. I will say, with one caveat, is it's rolling out for pages and Instagram posts, but you can't yet use it for communities, which is kind of a bummer. But Meta's doing funky stuff with their communities API, like they're deprecating the ability to schedule posts into it, but you will be able to continue to do this. And so the team is just running down what changed there. So this is going to roll out, and then shortly after, you'll be able to use that function in communities as well. So that one is going to be an awesome one, Justin. It's super, super close. Any day you'll see it. Ryan, what are you most excited about that's releasing in the near future?
So calendars is going to get an update where multiple locations will show up as choices for booking. So in other words, let's say somebody doesn't want to use Google Meet, they want to use Zoom. You can now give them the choice, or you will be able to give them the choice of like, I want to meet on Zoom, and they can select that as the location they want to meet. Or perhaps there's a physical location as well that they want to meet at instead. So you can kind of alternate between like a virtual meeting or something more in person. So I think that'll be a really well received update to the calendar scheduler.
Nice.
Yeah.
So my upcoming update of the week that I'm really excited about is a WhatsApp one. So the team is cranking away on the new WhatsApp version of the web chat widget. And so this to me is the final piece for WhatsApp. I know there's a bunch of other little things that are still going to come out, but for me, this is the big one, right? Because the web chat widget is really how you start to build a database of WhatsApp numbers, right? You put it on the site, people start WhatsApping you in, and those create contacts, and then we can do reactivation campaigns whenever we want. So really excited. Saw the screens for it the other day. The chat widget in general is getting a little UI enhancement. And then this, I think, will roll out basically at the same time. Team's getting really close. It's going to be fantastic. If you're doing WhatsApp marketing, you're going to be thrilled because you can now start putting that thing on everybody's website and building their database. So going to be great. Bunch of updates to come as always. Ryan, have a great weekend.
You too, man. Take
Thanks
care.
for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.
See ya.